Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to this new session on the International Fabtalks. We get to know people from various streams, from different countries, from different states of India. And friends, the beauty of the International Fabtalks, connecting with them for the sole reason to be inspired, to create awareness, and to build a beautiful world based on peace, harmony, and goodwill. Let's welcome our celebrity and guest. She's joining us from Bengaluru, also called as Bangalore, Karnataka, India. You want to know who she is? Yes, I'll introduce her to you very soon. Friends, she is a wonderful person connected with the academic sector, with social change, and with the upliftment of students, women, and everyone. In particular, it's about students and women, but apart from that, she's a wonderful humanitarian and focusing on building a beautiful future for herself and the people around her. Join us to welcome Dr. Musarrath Bhanu. She's here with us. Hello, ma'am, and welcome to the session, dear.
Thank you so much for giving me such beautiful introduction. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for accepting the invitation to the International Fabtalks, ma'am. Thank you very much. I just share your profile briefly and then we start.
Thank you.
Thank you. Friends, allow me to share ma'am's profile and go ahead to get to know more about who she is. Join us, friends. As I earlier mentioned, she is Musarrath Bhanu K. She's an associate professor and head of the department with regard to sociology, or you could say the sociology department, HOD. And then she belongs to, her service belongs to which beautiful college? Al-Ameen Arts, Science and Commerce College located in Bangalore. She's completed her MPhil and she's very much focused on bringing socio-economic changes. She's won several awards and rewards. She's also a wonderful author. She's worked on several research projects, and her profile is a huge one. I think till date, I haven't seen a huge profile like that. A very, very powerful one, you can say, and very inspiring one. And friends, I just don't go too deep. Yes, ma'am, it's really very nice to know about you. Friends, I just share a few awards of ma'am's. She's got the Best Paper Award for the paper, A Profile of Women's Resource Center, University of Utah, that is Salt Lake City, USA, as a model of social responsibility in the first multidisciplinary International Conference on Social Responsibility of Educational Institution in Developing Countries, organized by PG and Research Department of Social Work, Sri Ramakrishna Vidyalaya of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. She is also a wonderful resource person. She has participated in several ways on different platforms and has been a resource person. And she's even participated as a panelist as well. And much, much more, friends. I'm just cutting it short. Let's get to know it directly from her. She has held different positions in different capacities. Let's get to know this powerful woman. Now, many of us are settled. What do I mean when I say settled? Yes, I've finished my PG and I'm done. That's all I wanted and I've completed. But there are people like Musarrath Bhanu ma'am who focuses on building her future and rising above all odds, wanting more and more, to learn more, to educate people and to empower people. So let's not be settled or feel satisfied with our educational pursuits and professional pursuits. Let's go ahead and make her an inspiration in our life and bond with her and get to know about her views on life, her profession, and how she could empower you and me as well, irrespective of gender. Join us, friends. Let's get to know more about her. Dear ma'am, you have a brilliant, brilliant profile. Now, if I share your profile, it may take half an hour. And that is why I have just put it just in 5 minutes, maybe hard below 3 minutes I put that. Now, how would you define yourself? Who is the real Musarrath Bhanu?
To be very frank, I have a very humble beginning. In fact, being a woman coming from a middle-class conservative family, the two Muslim community, I have worked very hard to reach the position where I have reached right now. Of course, I've had my family support, my father, my mother, and my husband, because of which I have really tried to work hard to not only uplift myself, but also many people coming from the downtrodden sections of the society. I have an opportunity through my job to serve the community, serve the undeserved communities. And I feel really very happy my students come back and tell me that they have really, achieved something in life. And in fact, they give this credit to me. I really feel humbled about it.
That's really nice. Being an academician, I could very well relate to you what you've been sharing now. When students come back to you and they say that, yes, we've achieved something today and it is all because of you, because of our teachers and their guidance and the way they taught us. That's a beautiful feeling. Wonderful. Dear ma'am, like, why did you choose the academic sector? Why did you choose to become somebody who wanted to teach and uplift students?
I really had the desire to teach. In fact, there was a time when, I was a very nervous person. I wouldn't speak to the people. And I thought teaching was a way out to challenge this problem that I was facing. And today I'm in a position to talk to several people in several, places. I think I've achieved what I wanted to achieve.
That's great. That's wonderful to hear. That's really nice. So being an introvert and then being a wonderful person ready to connect with anybody across the world. Yes, that's really nice. That's wonderful. Now, ma'am, you chose sociology. Now, apart from sociology, was there any other subject that you were drawn to and interested in?
I was interested in psychology too, but somehow sociology was my destiny, and I feel I deserved sociology more than psychology. It is sociology that has made me what I am today. And therefore, I'm grateful to sociology, because sociology has not even given me my bread, butter, and jam, but also, the way I look at life. And in fact, it has defined me as a person.
Wow, that's wonderful. Brilliant. Very nice, dear. Now, dear ma'am, we've seen many women whose wings have been clipped off at an early age with regard to education. And if the wings are clipped off with regard to education, what is the message you'd like to give to these ladies? They might have had a break because they were forced into marriage, or they themselves got married at an early age by choosing their partner, but later regretted that we have taken the wrong step, and it is education, then career, and then marriage. So what type of a message you'd like to share to these sisters who have been trapped, at an early age into getting married and having a family?
In fact, I have been working with women. In fact, I've been in charge of the women empowerment cell in our college itself. I've worked for a women's college. Every time I speak to the female students of a college, I encourage them to pursue their education and also be economically independent. Because the kind of scenario in which we exist, it's very challenging for the women. And it's only education and economic independence can empower a woman, and she can command as much, or if not as much, at least some amount of respect in the family and also in the society. So through my women empowerment cell, I have conducted umpteen number of programs, and I have involved both boys and girls in my gender sensitization programs, because I feel the change should come from both the sides. It's not just women who should know about their rights. I feel men too should know the rights of the women. And that's the reason why I always involve young boys and young girls in these gender sensitization program. And I conduct a lot of programs. Our International Women's Day is also all inclusive, including men, women, boys, and girls. So this is how I've been trying to bring in some change. I hope there is some, success somewhere.
Yes, dear. That's beautiful, ma'am. Now, ma'am, you belong to the academic sector and you deal with students, college students. Now, dear, we have found something very, very sad and unacceptable. That is bullying. Pointing out to the physical body of a person. It could be either a girl or a boy. Body shaming them.
Yes.
Or speaking negative about a particular student in that group. The classmates do that, the college mates do that, schoolmates do that. So what are the measures being taken by the government or the school and college managements to restrict this? To restrict it, I wouldn't use the word restrict, to completely stop it. Not at all.
Yes, we do.
Yes, dear.
Yes, we do have a disciplinary committee. Apart from that, we are there as teachers to talk to the students and handle these issues. We also have a grievance cell wherein the girls bring in their issues. The boys also, in fact, bring in their problems. We talk to them, counsel with them, and try to, do our bit towards bettering the situation.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, we found children also disrespecting the faculty members. In fact, in one of the incidents which I've heard, a student just walks up the steps and manhandles a lecturer who was trying to control the noise during the recess time or the interval time, and that lecturer got slapped on his face by a student. So how do we deal with such aggressive students? There is, anger displacement in that child, and somebody else's anger was transferred onto that lecturer. So what type of measures do you take, the management of the schools and colleges could take, the government could take in these cases, in case if it is like this again?
I feel of late we need a lot of counselors in schools and colleges, because the kind of scenario in which our students are existing, it's very difficult for them, because we teach them certain things, but when they go out of the house, they see something different. There's a lot of contradiction between what is being taught at home and what they see outside, and especially due to your smartphones and things like that. And that's the reason why they have lots of conflicts in their mind, and they display this conflict in the form of their aggressive behavior. So therefore, we need to have some compassionate teachers and also counselors to understand them and show them the right way. And in fact, as teachers, we should be like mediators between what is happening in the outside world and what we actually teach them. Because what we teach them is long lasting than what they see outside. Because there's a big change in the world now. Students are unable to cope up with that change.
Yes, that's wonderful. Thank you for that beautiful insight. And I really applaud the way you said this. There should be a wonderful counselor, a fabulous counselor to take care of the students when they need them the most. So I'm sure all the management, schools, college managements, etc., should have counselors and give focus and importance to mental health. The child may perform very well in the exams. The child may dress up very nicely, presentably, and come to school or college. But what is inside the child's mind, that has to be tapped out, and the child has to be outspoken. He should not suffer from being an introvert. He should not even be an over extrovert. He should be an ambivert, be able to mix up and enjoy solitude as well and socialize as well. Now, this is what has to happen. Yes, dear. Now, dear ma'am, yes, dear.
This is what I feel. We have a very bad misconception with regard to education. We feel education is the score that a child gets in the mark sheet. It's not that. It is the way the child has learned certain values, certain ways of dealing with people, and how the child deals with herself, with himself. That's more important.
Yes, dear. Very true, ma'am. Very, very true. We should teach our children life skills, either at home or in the college space or school space. They should be learning how to handle pressure, how to face difficulties. It's not only marks. Now, if you're only concerned about marks and ranks and positions of students in the class, you are commercial. If you really want to build up a nation, you have to focus on the mental health of a child and see that they are very well balanced in their minds and thought process. Yes, I really appreciate the way you have shared that. Dear ma'am, what about your childhood? How were you as a child? I mean, below the age of 13, before you enter your teens, what type of a girl were you?
I was not a very good student, to be very frank. My people were like, okay, this one will do a little bit. And they never thought that I will achieve what I have achieved so much. But then I saw my siblings were doing very well. They were overachievers. In fact, I developed an inferiority complex in them. But then today I'm proud of what I've done. I hope to do more than what I've done so far. So,
wow. You've already done a lot, ma'am. I must tell you, your profile was impressive. It was not getting, I was just, checking it and I was reading and reading and reading. I said, when is it going to end? So I'm really surprised that you were able to accomplish so much. It's wonderful. Really. And you still say that you still have to do much more. Hats off to that.
Yes, I'm retiring in 10 months' time. I hope to do more after that. I'll have a lot of time.
How sweet. That's really nice, dear. That's wonderful. Dear ma'am, do you remember any incident about your childhood, like below the age of 13? Any incident that is very sharp in your mind and you fresh, I mean to say, like evergreen? अम्मी के साथ या अब्बू के साथ, भाई बहनों के साथ, ऐसा कुछ ऐसा खास इंसिडेंट याद?
In fact, my father is an inspiration to me. He has really worked hard. He used to always say that, when I used to go and see the result, those days we didn't get the results in WhatsApp and all that. We had to go to the school and see the result. I studied in a government school till 7th in Urdu medium. Then I switched over to English medium in a corporation school from 8th to 10th. My father was like, he used to tell me, if you pass, it's okay. Even if you fail, come back home. Don't go anywhere. You can do better after that. I think that has taught me certain things. And he has taught me this honesty. That's very important. Once I told a lie, he never used to get angry at me. But, that one particular time, he was so angry at me because I told a lie. I think that has taught me certain things. And even today, I'm very proud of the kind of life that I've lived, My life has been like, what do you say? In Hindi, we use a word called tapasya. I have lived that kind of a life, taking care of my family, educating the children in the college. And I have done only this, nothing more.
Wonderful, dear. Wonderful. That's really nice. Now, ma'am, you are an inspiration to many of us, including me. I really admire you. At the start of the session itself, when I read through your profile, I was really impressed. And yesterday when I connected with you, you were very polite and humble. So we consider people like you to be inspirations for all of us.
I'm humbled by this.
Thank you, dear.
I've just tried my best to do things.
That's really nice.
That came across in my life.
Yes. Now, ma'am, there are many people who have ego. And a person with ego will land nowhere other than the floor or the door out.
Yes.
He or she has to walk out of the door if you have a lot of ego. So we all have to learn something to be humble. And
right.
Yes. Now, dear ma'am, you are an inspiration, as I told you earlier. Now, we would love to know who is your inspiration. Is it your dad or somebody else?
My father. Everything that I do, I remember him. He's no more. I lost him some 7 years back. But whatever I do, it's because he has taught me certain things. So he's my inspiration.
Wow, that's wonderful. Now, ma'am, amongst your siblings, like what type of coordination you had with your siblings? Usually siblings fight, they're jealous of each other. You admired your siblings because they were overachievers, as you said.
Right.
Any other incident you remember with your siblings? Like who was the most naughtiest one? Were you the naughty one? Or were you the targeted one amongst the siblings?
I was the most responsible child in the house because I was the eldest child. I learned to cook when I was just in 7th standard. Wow. And I just derived pleasure out of helping my mother in the kitchen. If I could cook one dish and reduce her burden, I would feel very, very happy. So I have always been, in the helping, area of my family. And therefore, my siblings, in fact, could come up in life because we were 5 of us. And my mother really needed help because she couldn't take care of so many of them, especially when it comes to cooking and all that. So I was there for the house. Even after marriage, we stayed close to their house, me and my husband, because I used to leave my daughter in their house and go to the college. So that's how it has been.
Yes. Wonderful. That's really nice. Dear ma'am, now you say you help mom with cooking. Now, I'm sure now you are an excellent cook as well.
I do some cooking, yes. Good cooking.
Great. What is the best thing that you can cook? Like, what's the special specialty?
To be very frank, my family loves non-veg food, but I like vegetarian food. So I cook both.
Yes, dear. Yes. Now, dear ma'am, we'll come to books.
Yeah.
Now, with regard to books, once you put your foot into an academic sector and become a faculty member, it's books and books and books. Always
Right.
upgrading our knowledge and learning, unlearning, relearning certain facts and figures. Now, which is the book that has inspired you till date?
I read this book called The Man's Search for Meaning that really inspired me a lot, by Viktor Frankl. See, we go through a lot of difficulties. Many times we complain about it. And this is what we should teach to our children too, that difficulties are a part of life. Life can never be easy. Religion tells us that, God never promised an easy life for us. He only promised his support when we go through difficulties. So Viktor Frankl talks about how the Jews suffered in those concentration camps and how he maintained his positive mindset till he came out of it. And this is something which should inspire all of us, because we do face challenges in life. There are so many ups and downs. There's one more book called The Road Less Traveled, wherein he says that, the author says that difficulties are a way of shaping our personality and giving us a proper perspective. I think we should teach this to a younger generation, because they feel easy life is the best life. There can be no easy life for anyone at all.
Yes, dear. Now, dear ma'am, there are several youngsters who cannot face the harsh realities of life, and they're going into depression. Now, is this a term depression really there, or is it they are stuck up in their thought process, or maybe they are not okay? I can't put that in the right way. Let me put it in the right way. Are they living in their head than, putting everything into action, or like all the time in their head, sleeping most of the time? Because one who is depressed is sleeping more than like 18 hours per day, or maybe more than 16 hours per day, getting up, eating, and again going to sleep. They either can't handle a heartbreak or a breakup, or maybe can't handle studies, or can't handle the pressure that their parents give them. The parents are nowadays openly fighting in front of their children. So is there something that is called as depression, or how do you look at it?
I feel our children are given a lot of comfort. I feel, comparing to the kind of childhood that we had, we give a lot of luxury to our children. That is one thing. And plus, our children are living in the world of images, right? People create false images of themselves in your Instagram, in your Facebook, and all that. I really don't know whether they're really living that kind of a life, or they're just posting those type of pictures, because life is not like that in reality, right? And when we compare our life with the images that we see in the social media, I think it's impacting us. And many times we don't know the difference between the real life and the virtual life, the real world and the virtual world. And our children are stuck in it. And children really don't know the value of money, right? Really don't know the meaning of hard work, the kind of hard work that we did. I don't think our children have done it, nor their children will do that. So we need to have a different kind of a setup to deal with this kind of a scenario. And we should teach them certain things. I think we should teach them values. That's very important. Okay. And one more thing with regard to parents. See, I always tell, there's a training to be a teacher, to be an engineer, to be a doctor. There is no training to be a parent. That is so important.
Very true.
Right. And therefore, we should have some classes, at least at the graduation level, for the students as to how you should be as a parent. That becomes very important, because a healthy society depends upon the healthy family, right?
Very true. So, very, very true. And I think, no, I believe I believe that each one of us who feel responsible on this planet, that yes, there's a purpose that we have to fulfill and leave this world. Let us all come forward and educate the younger generation who are yet to become parents, who are yet to walk down the altar and say, I do, and then become parents. They should be really given a little counseling, or maybe some course should be there on how to being a better parent. Because we just can't become parents and create mistakes and say we'll go with the flow.
Right. In fact, we inherit many things from the previous generation, right?
Yes, dear.
And we also need to remember that our children do not belong to our era. They're living in a different era altogether, right? The way we grew up, the way I grew up, the way I brought up my daughter is so different. And she belongs to a different era altogether. Definitely her perspective of life will be different from mine. I think we should give room for that, give them little freedom to see the world differently. And we don't own our children. That is very important thing for the parents to realize. We don't own them. They have their own life. See, my only child, I have sent her away to USA. So people told me as to how you can send your only daughter away. I said, let her go and realize her dreams. I will manage.
Yes, dear. I get that, ma'am. I get that. Now, dear ma'am, now this is a request to all the students out there who may be connected with ma'am, connected with the different educational institutions. Like, I don't say that don't fall in love. Do fall in love, but don't be stupid to forget your parents, and don't be selfish to forget your parents. Put your parents first. You may get 100 partners later on. You may get the best partner in the world later on, but you will not get your set of parents. And if you're attached either to your mother or to your father, whoever it may be, whoever has treated you very well right from your childhood, will be attached to that particular parent. So think of that parent who would suffer if you have taken a wrong step, or if you have, given importance to another girl or a boy in your life and have forgotten that your mother and father exists.
Right.
This is a very sad situation, and that is why we find many of the old age homes, senior citizen homes, abandoned parents on the roadsides, etc. Now, what do you have to say about this?
I always tell my students that there is nothing called love at first sight or love at several sights, because we can love a person only when you live with them, when you see how they share things with you, share your difficulties with you, put up sometimes with some of the imperfections that you have. That is love, not what you see in your Bollywood movies. Okay, and I always tell them that, you must be liking somebody. It's natural for you to like them. Just like them. Leave it at that. You decide when you grow up, when you are settled in life, whether you'll really be able to live with that person or not. Because your perspectives change after some time. And I also tell them, 5 years from now, you will say, why did I love this person at all? He or she is so horrible, because you'll realize that, how imperfect we all are. We all are imperfect, but the person, if you are able to, put up with each other's imperfections, carry on life in spite of that, I think that is love, not what we see in our Bollywood movies.
Yes, dear. And I think it's time for all the Bollywood directors and producers, etc., to concentrate on putting reality on the table.
Right.
A big shout out to all the directors across the world. Show reality. Of course, there could be fiction, but of course, focus more on reality, the real essence of living and the meaning of life. That would be really nice. So we just would want that beautiful change, such that the youngsters are not corrupted with their thought process.
Yes.
Now, ma'am, we'll talk about financial freedom for women. You being a woman of substance, you've achieved your financial independence. There are several women who are educated, working, but yet suffering silently as they are under the pressure and coercion of their husband or in-laws. That you should not spend your money. You should give the entire saving, entire earnings to us. We will manage it. And even if the woman will now not be gender biased. I want to help my parents. Yes, let's not be
Right.
gender biased. I want to help my parents. So whoever is earning, they are free to help their parents. Neither the wife should interfere with how the husband is, pampering his parents and taking care of his parents with dignity and respect. In the same way, a woman should be allowed to do the same for her parents, and a man should be allowed to do it for his parents, the husband. What is your
Right.
take on this, ma'am? That is my way of thinking. How do you think it should work?
I don't know whether you have watched this Kamala Bhasin's videos. She talks, she was a great feminist. She passed away during the COVID time. She talks about this patriarchy, and patriarchy says that man is the breadwinner. Even if a woman earns, she's not seen as a breadwinner. I think that is the reason why they take away her money, because they do not see her as a breadwinner at all. And what should change is the mindset of the people. And each school and college should teach the boys as to how they should look at women. I always say that we have had enough of International Women's Day, wherein women talk to women about women. Let us talk about women to men. Then you can see a big change happening in our society. And it is a question of how you look at a woman. No matter how much you're earning, you're still looked down upon, right? And this should change. This will change only when men start thinking differently. You see, there's an actress who has acted in these Harry Potter movies, Emma Watson. She started a campaign called He for She campaign. And I think this is the need of the hour, because women have fought since 19th century for their rights. Women have fought for women. Why can't men come forward now? I feel there'll be a big change when men come out and fight for the rights of women.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, I'd like you to focus on how on this one. Let me just get that right. Let me put my thoughts properly now. See, dear, we have seen men pulling down women. We always blame men are destroying women. But if you minutely go deep down and check, even women are the cause for the downfall of another woman.
Yes.
It could be a mother-in-law, it could be a sister-in-law, it could be a neighbor, it could be a colleague. We find women against women, pitted against women. And the downfall of a family could be a woman. It could either be mother-in-law or the sister-in-law or the wife herself, or it could be anyone. So now I'd like you to just give a message to all the women, how to uplift each other, than only putting the blame on men and saying that men are responsible. To a certain extent, even women are responsible for each other, for one another's downfall.
Yeah. See, when I talk about feminism, we say that we never say that we see men as the enemies of women. When we talk about feminism, we say that it is a value system that is influencing men as well as women. Many a times it is the mother who stops the education of her daughter. She says, don't get educated. You have to be married off. I have to, wash my hands of you. So here the mother is only thinking of finishing her responsibility, not the life of the child. So what am I talking about is the value system which should change. And you see, many a times a woman is not sent to the school. And later on, she is given all kinds of names. We call her Jahil, illiterate, whatnot. Now, who is to be blamed for her ignorance? It is the social system in which we are existing. It is a value system that we have. Therefore, we talk about changing this value system, changing the mind of the people. And that's the reason why the feminists are asking for gender sensitization programs from school itself that should influence both women as well as men. So Kamala Bhasin says that patriarchy is not just impacting women, it's impacting men too. See, when you say man as a breadwinner, it is such a big burden on him. He has to take care of his own family. He has to take care of his mother too, right? And his parental family. Why are you burdening him so much? And naturally, he will show his power in his house because he has earned the money, he's bringing the money in. And the woman's work, in fact, women do a lot of work. Day in and day out, they're doing a lot of work. But this work is invisible because it doesn't have monetary rewards. And this is the problem. And this is the problem with our social system, the value system, the patriarchal values that we have. Okay, and patriarchy is subjugating women as well as men. And this is what has to be attacked. So now, men, we do not see men as the enemies of women. We see this value system as the enemy of men as well as women.
Yes, I think we should all become progressive in our thoughts and views and break stereotypes.
Right.
Yes, that's wonderful, ma'am, having you on this conversation with regard to all the important things that need to be discussed here today on this platform. Now, dear ma'am, what was the most toughest and difficult time of your life? And how did you overcome that challenge? Have you ever faced something that was really too traumatic, but you overcame it in the right way?
I think after I sent my daughter for her higher education in USA, I felt, very lonely. Just few months back, before I had lost my father, then my daughter went for her higher education. I think that was the most difficult time for me. I just couldn't see her dark room at all, and after a point of time, I started switching on the light in her bedroom and sleeping. And we would call her every day, morning and evening, and talk to her. Even today, we maintain that every day she calls me. If I don't talk to her in morning, I feel so depressed the whole day.
I understand that, dear. I really understand. So it's called like the empty nest syndrome.
Right, right.
Yes, I think you're being emotional even now. Yes, you get
yes,
yes, dear. I understand, and that is the love of being a mother, having unconditional love for her children. Yeah. I'm sure she's fine, ma'am. Yes, dear.
She's doing very well. In fact, she's married to a very good boy. Both are doing very well. Recently, we got her married to a very good boy. She got married in June.
So that's really nice. We're very happy for her. And I'm sure you're a very strong person. And I can see the love of a mother, I could relate to that very well. I could resonate with you on that. Yes, dear. Ma'am, as you touch the lives of several youngsters, you have not one daughter, you have several daughters and sons.
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
That's beautiful.
I see them as my children. All my students are my children. In fact, I'm just after them just to do their best always.
Yes, dear. Yes. Dear ma'am, now what about friendship in your life? How many of your friends have stood with you? Because when we work in an institution, our colleagues become our friends. And some of them become friends for life. So how do you look at friendship in your life?
I'm very lucky. I meet a lot of people who are doing very good in life. In life, in the sense, I see when I say people doing very good in life, I don't talk in terms of money, wealth, and materialistic achievements. I'm talking about how they're working towards the betterment of the society. And I have come across so many of them. I treasure them in my life. And because of my job, in fact, as I told you, I started helping my mother in the kitchen quite early. If I was left just like that, I would have been only in the kitchen. I would have got married. I would have had children, and I've been only at home. It is because of my job that I came out and I met so many types of. In fact, my appointment happened in Al-Ameen college, and I got regularized as a government teacher. But then after a point of time, I'm getting a deputation to go out of the college. I went to Mount Carmel College then. And for me, that was so traumatic. It was so difficult because I'd worked for 13 years and people had told me that it was a permanent job. I realized that only my job was permanent, not the college. I worked in Mount Carmel College for almost 10 years. And 1 year I worked also in a government college where I have taught children coming from a real marginalized communities, And Then I came in touch with several types of people, such beautiful people who are doing really well towards, working for the humanity. And I am very grateful to God Almighty for making me go through this experience. Otherwise I would have been like college, home, and cooking, but I could do so many other things. I think God is extracting his work through me. So
Yes, dear. That's wonderful. Yes. The job is permanent, but not the college. That hit me hard. Like I understood
right.
that situation. That once we are
Yes, after working for 13 years, I go into some other college. I'm so depressed. Then I came across this quote by Dr. Abdul Kalam. He said that just love your job, not the company for which you work, because you never know when the company will stop loving you.
very
If you
true.
love your job, you'll enjoy your job wherever you go. And that motivated me to just do my best, especially when I was sent to a government college. I was, so unhappy about it, very disappointed about it. And the government college was like, just 3 rooms in a government school. And I was given a classroom which was classroom come library come office. And they had done one partition with the help of some cupboards, and I would take classes behind the cupboards. And there was this librarian come office superintendent who would sit in the other side of the classroom. When I would ask questions, he used to answer the questions. That kind of a classroom I have taken classes in. There were days when I reached a little late. Some other teacher would have gone in, and that teacher would be engaging the classes. And I would go and ask the principal, what will I do, sir? There is no classroom. He used to say, Madam, don't worry, like Shanti Niketan, you take them in the garden and engage classes. And the garden was all crowded. So I would take them on the terrace, make them all sit on the terrace and take classes. And it was a college wherein all the students came from Kannada medium. I'm not very fluent with Kannada. And I used to sit and every day take Kannada translation of what I had to teach the students next day with my husband, who's very fluent in Kannada. I would learn that particular part of the chapter, go and deliver my lecture in whatever little Kannada I knew. And though I was very disappointed, first through 2-3 days, I was very disappointed when I saw the innocent faces of those children. Something told me that it's not their fault that I am here. They need a teacher. I should come out of my disappointment and do my best for them. In fact, I did my best. At the end of the semester, at the end of 2 semesters, in fact, there was 100% result in spite of my flaws in my Kannada language. So I feel very proud of the work that I've done. When I look back in my career, I feel very happy about it.
Yes, that's wonderful. That's really nice. Even I was scared about Kannada, because we never had the hold on that language.
Right.
And
Right.
I would really pass in all the subjects, but I would fail in Kannada. And when we're distributing the Kannada paper, my God, I would pray so much to all the gods I knew, all the Christian gods, the Hindu gods, and as well as to Almighty Allah as well. Pray that I should pass. But then when papers were distributed, they would call out my name and I would get less marks, below 10 out in what do you say?
Right.
Unit tests. So then it was either 3 or 5 or 7. But thankfully, then when I came to the 8th class, I relearned again all those letters, the and all of that. I learned all of that, and somehow I managed to pass my 10th class. And then it was a big bye to Kannada. Then I jumped and I embraced Hindi as my second language. Yes, dear, I get that. Now, dear ma'am, amongst all of these things, do you ever take some time out to watch movies? And if yes, which is your favorite one?
In fact, I grew up reading books. I grew up listening to stories. My grandfather used to tell me stories. My father would take us to British Council Library and make us borrow some books. We were all kids, we used to sit next to him, and he used to, in fact, sing and tell us stories. I've grown up, reading a lot of fiction. And I love watching some nice movies with a message. There was a time when I used to sit and watch those art movies. We don't come across such movies now. Of course, some good movies are there in Netflix and all that, based on true stories. I watch such movies.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, are you also interested in having a pet at home? Did you have a pet earlier?
No, actually, I'm very scared of pets.
Yes, dear, I get that. Now, ma'am, on the whole, being an academician and connected to the academic sector, what makes you angry? Or in general, let me ask you, what angers you when you look around yourself? What angers you?
The insincerity of the people. Really, I feel very unhappy about it, especially in a profession like ours. I see teaching as a calling. Teaching should be a passion. If you're not passionate about teaching, you should not enter into this field at all. You should never look at this profession as a job. You should see this as a calling, because you're in a position to transform the lives of so many students. If you are insincere here, I think you're committing a very big sin.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Very true. No, ma'am. When we forgive people, once is good. The second time is also good. Maybe in the third time you forgive somebody in your life, it's very good. It's like you're, very divine for being so forgiving. But the more you forgive, the more people continue to repeat the cycle of abuse. What do you have to say with regard to this, what I've just shared?
Forgive people, yes. We have to forgive them for ourselves. We have to live in peace, right? But don't entertain them in the way you have entertained them before, when they have abused your love, your affection, your sincerity. I think we should learn a lesson out of the behavior of the people. So this is what I feel. Of course, I have gone through that several times. I'm a very empathetic person. I empathize with a lot of people, and my empathy gets misused and abused many a times. The time I feel shattered, now I'm learning some lessons out of it. Yes. So this is how it is.
Yes, dear. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your thoughts on that. Thank you very much. Dear ma'am, we have a small segment called as the rapid fire round that will take another 5 minutes. If you don't mind, if you could share another 5 minutes with me.
Yes.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. And you are a very transparent person, a very nice, warm person. I'm thankful that the universe has, connected me with you, because your thought process is so nice and so genuine. And you're a great humanitarian, I could say. All that I can say. You're an angel with invisible wings, and you're a queen with an invisible crown as well.
I'm
Yes.
humbled. Universe is really very good to me too. I have met a lot of people like this. I'm very happy to have come across you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. Dear friends, now it's the time for the rapid fire round to get to know the likes and dislikes of our celebrity and guest. She's here with us. She's Musarrath ma'am, and she's focused on building joy, peace, happiness, and being genuine, being transparent, being accommodating, respecting each other, respecting one another. If it is two members, respect each other. And if it is more than two, respect one another. So as a whole, we can put that she really is a blessing to the universe. Dear ma'am, your favorite month?
Hello? Yes?
Your favorite month among all the 12 months?
Favorite month. I like those months which are little cool, or where I have little more time for myself to read some books.
Yes, so reading, and you want the cooler one, the months which are cooler, right?
Right. Reading has become my passion. And when I saw my siblings who spoke very good in English, even I wanted to be like them. I came from Urdu medium, and I would just sit and read books like anything. Now I can quote a lot of books in the classes now. Lots of books I have even accumulated. I hope to read all of them once I retire.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's really nice. Yes. Dear ma'am, now, which is the best day of the week?
Best day of the week. Best day of the week is when I have delivered my lectures very well. I've done something extra for my students. That is my best day.
Yes, dear. I get that. So, I mean, all days it could be
Yes,
all the working
right.
days. Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, your favorite color?
My favorite color is actually blue.
Now, ma'am, have you spent money on any article or item and bought it and then you came home, or when you looked at it the second or third time and then you regretted, oh, why did I spend my money on this?
Of course, when I buy certain things for myself, I really feel guilty about it. When I spend little more extra money on one particular sari or something like that, I hide it from myself. I say, oh my God, I have so much of money I've spent on this sari. I keep it away from me till I forget the price of that sari. Then I wear it.
Yes,
So,
dear, I get that. Now, dear ma'am, what is that one thing you love about your job?
yes, see, I'm able to express myself and do a lot of things, for my children. The children who, there are many a times the students come, they're unable to pay the fee. I'm able to make a big change over there also. I feel, God has extracted his work with me, and I'm very grateful to him.
Yes, that's wonderful. The name of any of your students, any one of the students, your favorite one, like who you admired for he or she was an all-rounder. Any name you would like to mention in particular?
I have taught a lot of students. They're doing really very well in life. Many of them are doing very well in life. And therefore, I cannot name one student, lot
Oh,
of students.
you're doing justice to that question.
Right.
Yes. I mean, are you in contact with your students as well?
Yes, they contact me even now. They send happy Teachers' Day messages to me on Teachers' Day, and things like that. So, and some of them visit me. When my daughter got married, I invited them all. They all came to my daughter's wedding.
Yes, dear ma'am. Now, dear ma'am, are you a tea or a coffee person?
Tea. I love tea.
Yes, dear. Now we have the modern gadget. All of us have a mobile in our hand, the latest version as well. You could say that. Now, do you like texting or calling? What is more convenient for you?
It depends on who we are talking to. Sometimes to your close, like your siblings and all that, your relatives, your close friends. I prefer to talk. There are some people, it's better you text message them, send a message on WhatsApp and things. Depends upon who you're talking to.
Yes, dear. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
I wake up early in morning. I sleep quite early.
Yes, dear. The best mode of transport?
There was a time when I had my own bike. Now I'm unable to travel in Bangalore because of all the traffic on my bike. So my husband drops me in morning. I come back in auto.
Yes, dear. Now, ma'am, we give you a task. We give you a project work. Imagine you have a time machine in your hand and you're supposed to click the red button that is visible over there. And when you do that, you're taken into the past era where you have to go and relive somebody's life and return back. If that was the case, whose life you would love to relive and return back?
To be very frank, I feel whatever I have gone through in my life, it was meant for me. There were so many challenges. Yes. I've gone through difficulties. Yes. But all those difficulties and challenges have shaped me to be what I am. They say God plants you in certain situations so that, you become what he wants you to become. So I don't want to take anybody else's life. I'm happy with what has happened to me.
I appreciate that answer.
Yes.
A well answered one. Wonderful. You answered it very well. Now, are you a beach, forest, or a mountain person?
Beach.
Yes, dear. Now, if you're given an opportunity to listen to music or read a book,
I would prefer to read a book. And also it depends upon how you are. Like if I'm very tired, probably I'll listen to the music. I'm fresh, I'll sit and read a book.
Yes, dear. That's a wonderful answer. How would you define or describe or explain a beautiful day just in one word?
Yes, a beautiful day is a day when you have contributed something to this world. That is the most beautiful day,
Yes, dear.
right? We are all born with a purpose, right? That purpose of life should be fulfilled.
Yes, dear. Your favorite snack, ma'am?
My favorite snack. I eat biscuits and things like that. So I'm not very particular about anything. I do eat. In fact, I'm not fussy about food. There's something to eat, I eat. It's like that.
That's really nice. I like the way you put that. I'm not fussy about food. And we have to really respect food. That means you respect food. When you say I'm
Right.
not fussy about food or choosy about food, we respect
Right.
what is put on our table. Wonderful, dear.
Yes.
Now, dear ma'am, you prioritize socializing or me time?
Socializing.
Yes, dear. Now,
To be very frank, I take some time to make friends with people. And many times I would socialize with people who think more or less like me, better than, people who do not think like me. But of course, I'm respectful to all.
yes, dear, I get that, ma'am. I understand that very well. Now, dear ma'am, the insect that you don't like.
The incident which I don't like, the incidents where people are disrespectful to you, and the people, when they have no regard for you in spite of you being good to them. I think these are some of the things which I really, and I take very long to overcome that, when somebody disrespects me or do not have regard for my good intentions. So
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. That's really nice. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing. Ma'am, there are 2 or 3 questions now just that remain to be asked. Now, the best gift that you've received till date.
best gift, the best gift is my life itself, and my daughter, my husband. I'm happy for what I have received.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now, ma'am, towards the end of the session, we always put in a little request to our celebrities to share 3 magical words. You've already shared a lot of magical incidents, and you've explained so many things that were really magical. For most of us, it could be magical. For some of us, it could be difficult because we are still stuck up with our, negative thought process. But nevertheless, you've shared so many things that could create a positive impact in our life. We are a little more greedy when it comes towards the end of the session. We always put in a little request and would like our celebrities and guests to share 3 extra magical words. Apart from please, sorry, and thank you, it would be kind of you to share 3 empowering words to sum up the session.
There is no end to anything in life. Nothing ends in life. Always there are new beginnings, because nothing can last forever, right? When something ends, you're going to have something more beautiful than what ended in your life. This is what I have to tell you.
That's a beautiful message for each one of us. Something ends, something new is going to start, something beautiful is going to start in your life.
Right.
Don't be stuck in pain and sorrow. Move ahead. Hope for the best. Thank you so much, ma'am. We look forward to many more interactions with you. You have a beautiful mind, and you are a person filled with lots of wisdom. You've gained a lot of experience. You know how to carry yourself in a dignified way, and you're a source of a great inspiration to each one of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm an ordinary person. You made a celebrity out of me. Thank you so much.
Yes, we find, real diamonds. It's not that we view the film stars and being interested in their lives, or the politicians, what are they doing, and what is the bribe that is going on in XYZ sector. We want to touch upon the lives of the real diamonds that are available right in front of our eyes, and we just overlook all the achievements and the goodness that they have within them. So you're one shining diamond here. Thank you so much for being part of our session.
Thank you. I'm humbled. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear. My dear friends, with this, we come to an end to the International Fab Talks for today. We had a wonderful time getting to know ma'am about her lifestyle, her thoughts and views, and the wisdom that she shared. Do share this video with all the right kind of people. And if you are connected with ma'am, either as a student or anyone, it would be nice if you shower some love and get connected and bond for the right reasons. And what could be the right reasons? To change the society for the better, to change and uplift those people who are lying low, who are negative in their thought process, who are finding themselves lost on this beautiful track called as life. So if you like what the International Fab Talks is doing, stay connected, like, subscribe, comment, and share. And don't forget to love yourself and respect your parents. Stay safe. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.